Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
Remember us? It's been a little while.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Life has intervened a bit, and we're getting our February episode out today. So, but no worries, it's going to be doubly good. It's going to be twice as good as an ordinary episode. So you'll feel like you had 2 episodes in February.
That's right. That's right.
We are going to talk about elderflowers and elderberries today.
Yeah. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I am too. And you'll get to see that I can't see anymore. I got an email from Ben Marshall over in Hull, which is in East Yorkshire in the UK. Hope I'm pronouncing all that correctly. Who was asking if we have elderflowers over here. And I said, I'm not sure. So he said, I'll send you some. So he sent 2 19-gram packages of dried elderflowers. He says traditionally elderflowers were used to make either wine or a cordial for a refreshing summer drink. However, when I spoke to an old home brewer in his 80s, he mentioned that he used to put a handful into the beer either at the last 5 minutes of the boil or when dry hopping. He said he tried both methods and has been amazed by the results. So, thank you very much, Ben, for sending us some elderflowers so that we could play with them here.
And so you made a beer.
I did make a beer. Why don't you open that up and pour it? It may not be carbonated yet, but
we'll see.
we will drink it all the same. Yeah, there's a little bit of a hiss there. So what I did was I made like a 2-gallon batch, a small batch, 3 pounds of two-row, 8 ounces of 60 Lovibond Crystal, 1 ounce of chocolate malt, just to give a little color, and then 17 grams of elderflowers the last 5 minutes of the boil. And I bittered with 1 ounce of Fuggles for 60 minutes. So what I want to do is have you taste this and see what impression you get from the elderflowers. Cheers, by the way.
I'm so busy drinking. Well, let's see. What impression? I get Rich Little's Richard Nixon. It's pretty much what comes across to me. Although I'm getting a little bit of the Jonathan Winters. Oh, this is good.
That's tasty.
Oh, I definitely get... It's a bitter with something better.
Better bitter.
It's a better bitter.
Now we tasted just the flowers. We chewed on some of the flowers, and we got kind of a licoricey, anisey.
And I'm getting some of that too.
But there's some fruitiness in
Yeah,
there.
oh
as
yeah.
well.
Big time.
It is hard to nail down, and I interviewed on Basic Brewing Radio the other day Les Howarth, who's the author of this book, which is the Homebrewer's Recipe Database, which has ingredients to almost 2,000 beers listed in here. Now, where's my cheating glasses again? And he said that he's brewed with elderflowers before, and he was having trouble describing what he was tasting. And so Les said, my wife bought some elderflower cordial today and happened to make the comment that they smell and taste like green grape juice. Are you tasting green grape juice?
You mean like grape juice? I've never had green grape juice.
He says this fits with my comment. He had commented that elderflowers reminded him of some of the better German white wines. He said
Well, I can get that. I mean, I guess
get any of a kind of a wine kind of a thing going?
a little bit. I'm trying to get the grape juice. I think maybe on this side of the pond, maybe we call it white grape juice. I mean, I've never ran across green. So if that's the case, yeah, I kind of get that.
Yeah.
I get the anise, and I actually get like a little bit of pepper. I just get a little bit of like black pepper, and there is a definite fruitiness, like a real summer. You're in the glade, in the meadow with a little trout stream running through it, and I get that.
Well, in the database, there are a few beers with listed with elderflower in it. One of them is from Old Luxter's Farm Brewery in Henley-on-Thames in the UK.
Yep.
Fortnum and Mason Summer Ale, bottle conditioned, 4.5% alcohol by volume, with Maris Otter Pale Malt, Crystal Malt, Chocolate Malt, hops Fuggles or Goldings, with elderflowers, which sounds, on the face of it, a lot like
Pretty similar.
what I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, we haven't talked about how I brewed this beer.
Pray tell.
I brewed it in right here on this stove with a 5-gallon brew pot with brew in the bag, and I fermented
Up the Mr. Beer Kit.
the Mr. Beer fermenter, which was just fine for fermenting this little
Yeah.
beer. So,
Well, James, this
you
is
go.
very nice, and it really is different. It really does make an impact, and I'm kind of a fan of this. So let's go a little further, though.
okay, take us down the way.
A friend of mine brought me a bottle of wild elderberry mead. So it's 60% honey and 60% mead and 40% elderberry wine blended.
So from Yellowstone.
From Yellowstone, yes, that's right. From Yellowstone, I don't know if it's a winery. Produced and bottled by Hidden Legend Winery, Victor, Montana.
There you go.
So
this would be a pyment.
that's right. And these are wild elderberries from Montana and wild honey from Montana. And so we're going to see if we can get any of the elderberry out of this.
Cheers. It's more earthy. It's kind of a darker. I'm not getting much of the same stuff.
That's what I'm. This will be an interesting thing.
It's like switching gears without a clutch.
Well, but I'm trying to pick up and see if I get any of the same notes from it.
This smells like flowers. This is like berries.
Yeah.
So,
So not the same.
orange blossom mead and some of the varietals of honey, you can actually taste some of the sort of the fruit. I guess it's not the same with elderberries and elderflowers.
Well, of course, we're not exactly comparing apples to oranges, but
Right.
they are very different flavors.
But both are very
Both are
very
really good. This is mighty good, by the way. So Josette Klein and her husband, Jim Fundling, brought this to us.
Cheers.
So thank you.
And thanks to Ben, and thanks to Les for the insights on elderflowers.
Yeah. Well, I'm anxious to try this, and it makes me want to brew with other things like chamomile and things that are more common to us. And I've never seen, this in like we have a store called Ozark Natural Foods, and they carry all kinds of things like this, but not this.
And we need to look for fresh, local elderflowers.
Absolutely.
So that's it.
Until we meet again,
Cheers.
we'll always have Paris.
Come and visit us on the web. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archive lists of both our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs, Introduction to Extract Home Brewing, Stepping into All Grain, Low-Tech Lagering and Decoction Mashing, and our latest edition, Introduction to Wine Kits. And for a limited time, check out our 2010 Brewer's Logbook. Drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. Write to james@basicbrewing.com, steve@basicbrewing.com, or just use the contact form on basicbrewing.com.
Your father was a hamster and your mother smelled of elderberry.